Hey, welcome back. It's been a while since I've done another site vlog. I want to go over some of the updates that I've made to the website so far. This is part of a series where basically I was just kind of saying, hey, my website needs some more work, and yeah, I want to basically document the progress and take everybody along and share it on this channel. What I have so far isn't a whole lot of progress, but let's jump into it. The main three or four things I want to focus on. The first two, they're not too big. I've been kind of active on TikTok lately, so I've added a TikTok link to the about page. I think it's more under like a socials icon, and then I've also tried to make an effort to start beefing up the README. There's not much in the README yet, but I want to make sure that I'm at least including some instructions on how to get started with the website. If any of you want to fork or clone the repo and start working on it yourself, you're more than welcome to, but the README is a place where I'm going to start having some of those instructions. It's basically, the issue speaks for itself. Get README started, not finish it. Okay, so let's take a look at kind of what I did with the TikTok link. So if we go over to the About page, really what I was doing was, before I had the YouTube and GitHub and Twitter, I had all these here, and I wanted to make sure that I added the TikTok link with the social icon here. You can see it jumps straight to my TikTok page, Rushing Labs, over on TikTok. Make sure that you follow over there if you want to see more content. So this update was pretty simplistic. You come down to the Pages directory, go down to About, and pop this open. Socials horizontal component, and right here you can see that we just added a TikTok link, and it goes straight to, it just goes straight to the profile over on TikTok. And then of course we had an icon that I went and went through Google Images and kind of found it, pulled it in. That is under the icons directory. And then for the README, of course, that's right here at the beginning of the directory. Got the README. Like I said, just getting started here. I'm not sure exactly everything that I want to include in it, but if you want to clone the site, this is where I'll eventually start to kind of carry out a little bit of documentation and some instructions on how to get started for yourself. Okay, now the meat of this update was the blog previews. I wanted to make sure that I had a preview of the post that was going to be displayed beneath the title or the link of each post on the landing page. This is something that I've wanted for a while, but I wasn't exactly sure how to accomplish it. And I don't know why I waited on this for so long, because once I figured out how it was done, it was so simple. It was a YAML update. So if I go to any one of my posts, you can see where I'm using frontmatter up here. This is where the metadata of this is where the metadata of all of my posts is stored. We've got the date, the title. If it belongs to a section, I throw it in here too. And then I've got this preview. Now, it's pretty straightforward to just create a preview property, just like the section or the title property. But for some of my previews, I wanted to make sure that I included the entire first paragraph of the post so that we could show it on the landing page. Kind of like this. As we're scrolling down the landing page, I wanted to make sure that, like, why create a new course to learn JavaScript? This is almost, or kind of, the whole first paragraph. You can kind of see this down here with the "What's My Shell Again" post, all those sorts of things. So sometimes it's just going to be a single sentence, and that's pretty straightforward. But the problem that I was coming across was that for sometimes I wanted to be able to have a multi-line property. And inside of YAML, the key to that is we want our pipe operator, a single hyphen or a dash, and then you want to make sure that you have a tab right here. It's being rendered out of spaces. And then once you have that set up, you can put your multi-line property. So I want to take a second to walk you through exactly kind of how I'm pulling that metadata back. Before we get into it, this code isn't the cleanest, so I'm walking you through definitely as a work in progress. Just want to show you how I'm pulling it back so that you can see kind of, you've got the multi-line YAML set up, but then kind of how does it actually come back? So this index page right here is what is producing our landing page, or what I'm calling the landing page. So this list of posts that's being rendered, this is essentially just the index.js of the site. So we go to index.js, and this is where I really should break this up into multiple components. So if you're going to do this, make sure that your code is not quite as spaghettified as mine is. But if we come down here and we find where I have called preview, and you see that this matches up with, let's see, if I'll open another post, or if I'll open one of the posts, kind of what I'm calling preview in the YAML syntax, I know that it's going to be called preview in the same, in the render code. So I come over here to the index.js and I look for preview, and then this is underneath the all post data. I'm kind of working backwards here. The all post data is the data that I'm pulling in from the file system, and it eventually gets rendered to this collection. I believe it comes in as an array of objects, but this all post data is pulled back from the get sorted post data function, and that is coming from our library, from our post utility in our library or lib. Let's see, so if we go to post and we search for get sorted post data, and you can see where inside of this function I am getting all the files. We're using map to iterate over them, and then further down here we're using matter, which I believe is the gray matter package. Let's check on that. Yeah, it's the gray matter npm package. So if we jump back down to here, so we're using that matter or this matter function call on top of the file contents, and what that does is automatically pulls, as long as this YAML data is formatted correctly, which this right here was the key to that. As long as this is formatted correctly, it'll automatically pull this preview property out, just like it pulls any other properties out that are already working. So when I was pulling all this together, all I had to do was figure out kind of this preview syntax or this multi-line YAML syntax, and then really just kind of patch the code together for the same exact stuff that already existed. That's why I say that I don't know why I was kind of afraid of this feature for a long time. And then once I realized that it was just a simple kind of syntax trick around multi-line YAML, yeah, I was really kicking myself for not doing this one sooner. Okay, so the next feature is, or the next thing that I integrated with the site, it's not really so much a code change as it was making sure that I got some more tooling integrated with the site. And this one is GitHub CodeQL. One of the kind of nice to haves or kind of side effect concerns, however you want to phrase it, one of the concerns that I would like to have integrated with this website as I'm going forward is try to build out or see how much of an AppSec CI/CD pipeline I can build out along with the website. Now, CodeQL comes from GitHub, and it's called an industry-leading semantic code analysis engine. It's a really fancy way of saying that it is going to statically process the code that is inside, or statically process the source code. So it's going to read the source code that is inside the files and try to determine if there's any sort of security vulnerabilities that are embedded in there, and then basically give you a report on it. I haven't spent too much time with this, but what I can say was that adding this in was super simple. This won't be a full tutorial, but if you want to set this up on any project repo that you currently have hosted with GitHub, go over to the security tab in your repo, come down here to code scanning alerts, and then you're going to go to add more scanning tools. Now, I've already added CodeQL to this project, so this you might see something a little bit different on your project, but it's going to be kind of roughly in the same area. So go to add more scanning tools, and then here we have all these basically pre-made CI/CD workflows that we can bolt onto our application. I'm not going to go crazy on these. By all means, go have fun with them, go try stuff out, basically go break stuff, and then roll it back so that you can figure out how it broke. But if you want CodeQL, right here, it's right here at the top, automatically detect common vulnerabilities and coding errors. That is a free SAST tool direct from GitHub, and it's open to any of your projects that you host with them. And then you can set up this workflow, and from here, everything is already created. You basically just click on start the workflow, and then you commit the changes to your project, and you're completely done. It'll actually automatically run on every pull request that you have for your project. Okay, that's everything that I have for this site update. I know there wasn't a whole lot. We kind of went through some basic stuff. I've got another major update coming pretty soon. I'm still putting that video together. It's the biggest update that I've made to the website ever since moving from Gatsby to next.js. So if you have any questions about anything that I covered, or if there's something that you want to see covered in another video on these kind of website vlogs, make sure to let me know down in the comments below. Until then, I'll see you next time.